All right, Most High in Christ. All right, boom, boom, boom. We're gonna start it again. We're gonna run it back again. You know what I'm saying? Check this out. We got Mataziala in the building. We got Kwayashwan in the building. You know what I'm saying? We got Zarabakar in the building. You understand what I'm saying? This is the second part of last week. Last Tuesday, we did the psychology of self-hatred, self-defeat, part 1. This is part 2. You know what I'm saying? So we're going to go ahead and get it on. You look, make sure y'all get y'all books out. A brother did call me from Philly asking me what book I was reading out of. I'll be sure to let everybody know. If y'all got any questions, y'all already know what to do. Go get what you got to get. Get your drink. Get your Bible, your precept book, whatever it is you got to do to remember this stuff. So I'm not just speaking hot air out my damn mouth for nothing. All right. So check it out. We're going to be right back after these messages from our sponsor. All right. Here we go.
I think we got a problem, got a problem.
Let's go. Get up. Stack club, you hear that? You can't sit down to that. Okay.
Yo, what up, y'all? It's your boy, Shigluch, LOXD Block, Silverback. Hey, yo, right now I need to shout out the ISUPK classes.
I want to give a huge, big, humongous shout out to all the UPK schools.
Shout out to Black Watch, hosted by General Johanna. Bird, I need y'all to check out Cross the Line Radio as well, man. They've been open all week from 7 to 9. They ain't shut down because of the corona, the COVID, and all that. They rockin' strong, you know what I mean?
Think we got a problem, but really it ain't though. It's one of me, and these bitches I count about 3, 4. Think we got a problem, but homie just all talk. He ain't gon' pop a balloon with a pitchfork. Nah. Think we got a problem in the club with this dog. Rude boys, dogs, ladies, everybody.
Okay, maybe now. All right, we good to go. Hold on, give me 1 second. Aha! Yeah, all right, so look, check it out, right? I had to bring it all the way back. We rewind it. We're going to rewind it back, all right? So what I said was, this week we're going to talk, this is the ISUPK Brotherhood class, part 2 of the psychology of self-hatred and self-defeat. right? Now, y'all better watch out. I'm telling you, stay tuned for the next one that I'm going to bring out. And that when I get this book, it's going to show y'all exactly how everything was created, right? It's going to bring it all into your mind, you know, because what I wanted to do was I wanted to get to the bottom of why we're in the position that we're in. Now, we understand why we're in the position, right? We understand why we're in the position that we're in. Koyash one?
Because we're not following the law, statutes, and commandments.
Right, exactly, right. Because we're not following the law, statutes, and commandments, right? But that's in the broader sense, meaning like why we got into this situation, right? But I wanted to go into how the situation actually took place to get us destroyed. Yeah, the Most High is the author of it, of course, because like he said, we will be destroyed, right? Because of our lack of following the commandments and the laws and the statutes, right? But then Esau had to do it in a way in real life, in reality, for it to happen. Meaning this, right? I'll give you an example. When Noah, the Lord wanted to destroy the ark, right? I mean, he wanted to destroy the world, right? He wanted to destroy everybody, right? Because of our interracial marriage and all those types of things, right? You can read about it in Genesis, the 6th chapter, right? But what did he have to wait on? Okay, the Lord wanted to destroy the earth, right? But what did he have to wait on?
The ark?
Right. He had to wait for Noah to build the ark because it has to happen in real life for it to happen. You know what I mean? And like certain events have to play out for it to actually happen. And that's what I'm bringing out right now is I'm bringing out the events that actually made it happen for us to be in the position that we're in, to hate each other, right? And all those different things. You remember in the summertime, right? I mean, not the summertime, but you remember in Black History Month, y'all remember we did a lecture called The State of Supremacy.
Right.
Right? Y'all know what I'm talking about. So in this lecture, we brought out the psychology too, because the psychology plays a major part in it. And I didn't understand this at first, but now as I understand it, I'm, able to put pieces together and group the whole thing together to see how we got into the condition that we in right now, right? And the one thing that you want to have is you want to be equipped with the ability to fight the war, but you're not going to be able to do that if you don't even understand that you're even in one. But the war that's being played right now, it's not on you physically, in a sense, right? Because it's not all out war right now. So how are we able to how are they able to sleep at night knowing that they put us in slavery, knowing that they raped, robbed, and totally, completely destroyed us? How are they able to sleep at night? Go ahead.
They took away our brotherhood. They know we're not together as people, so
that
we can't come together.
Is the mic over by the brother? Because go ahead one more time, Warrior.
They took away our brotherhood, so we're not together anymore. So
right,
we're not even strong enough to come together as one and go against them because we had no brotherhood anyway. We're gonna go against each other. We had no leaders. Mm-hmm.
So, okay, and so in order for us to hate each other and not have brotherhood, where does the war have to not physically, but where does the war have to be? Not just physically, but where does the war have to be?
In our mind.
Exactly. Most High in Christ. Shalom. That's where the war has to be. It has to be in your mind. We can fight it. They can fight us all day.
Right.
But even when you fight, like when somebody goes to war, right? Like let's take it off of Israel. Let's go to Ukraine and Russia. The Ukrainians are fighting the Russians, right? And they're fighting them because it's a physical thing, right? It's two sides that are opposing each other. But it's no way that the Russians are going to make the Ukrainians love them, right? Why? Because they're not pulling no psychology on the Ukrainians. They're pulling psychology on the Russians, you know what I'm saying, on their side and saying, hey, this is a mission about, freeing them, you know what I'm saying? And that's what they pull on their own people. But what the oppressor was able to do with us is he was able to brainwash us in our brains. And he was able to, I hate using that word brainwash because we kind of flipped it into something good. Because like what we do now, ISUPK is we do get brainwashed, right? Because our brains were dirty before, and so it's clean now, right? But take it off of that, and we'll just go from a worldly perspective. That's what's going on right now with the oppressor. He has completely created us. You know what I'm saying? Like created our mindset. And if you can control a person's mind, then you can create a person. You know what I'm talking about? You can create a person. All you got to do is control their mind, right? So let me show y'all real quick. I'm going to show you who I'm going to go into. All right. Salakia, before I get started. All right. Daquan. All right, Daquan. That sounds like somebody, my daughter, a name of somebody my daughter would be. Like, what's his name? Daquan. Brandy Harris, all right, she always in here. Louisiana. Let me see. C. All right. Zerom Ganazak. All right, Zerom Ganazak. All right. Let me see. Jazz Angel Morris. All right, Jazz. And Kana. All right, Kana. Conditioned our mind. You right, Kana. They conditioned our mind because we don't even understand where it goes, right? So I'm gonna do a little bit. I'm gonna touch on a little bit from last week, and then I'm gonna bring it up into this week. All right, just for the people that might have missed it or whatever. And we'll go from there. All right. I'm gonna go ahead and read it because I'm up here on the mic, so I'll probably read it a little bit quicker. All right. Okay. Brotherhood and sisterhood, right? It was a breakdown. It was a breakdown in brotherhood and sisterhood. We understand that. But let's go and let's find out the things that were put in place to actually create that breakdown amongst us, right? Now, yeah, us having a lack of brotherhood and sisterhood was created in us, right? Through slavery, right? And all the many things that we've been through here in America, that was created in us. It wasn't just like we just woke up one day and just started hating each other. It didn't happen like that, right? All right, but I'm gonna read some of it, okay? It says control of the environment as personality creation. This is page 19. It says an individual who is seeking for power, who wants to create people so that they can have a definite relation to them, knows that the first thing he must do is control the environment. All right, we understand that, right? He must create an environment. The individual, if he is to survive in that environment, must learn to cope with it, right? You must learn to cope with that environment, right? So if you in North Philly, right, you want to survive in North Philly, you understand that you have to figure out a way to survive, right? But that's you coping with the environment, right? So if it's a rough environment, you got to be rough. If it's an environment where you got to hustle, you're going to have to hustle, all right? It says, if he is to survive in that environment, he must learn to cope with it. If it's a tough environment, he must learn to be tough. And if he's going to make it, and if it's an environment that requires him to hustle, then he has to learn how to hustle. After he learns all these things, they're going to become a part of his personality. In some ways, they're going to help him. In other ways, they're going to hinder him. Therefore, to create an environment to a large degree is to create the individual, right? Because we're going to go into psychology, right? So this is what they understand. They understand that if you want to create a person, you have to control the environment that the person lives in. And then you have to create certain situations and characteristics of that environment that the person has to cope with, right? And in turn, that's going to change their behavior, right? So when you could go, so I'm not going to go into everything, but of course, you know, if y'all want to, know what I'm talking about, like with some of these books, you can go to Albert Bandura, The Social Learning Theory. You can go to Reciprocal Determinism. You can go into Operant Conditioning. By this cat right here, I'm gonna put him on the screen. Hold on. All right. Lock you. This cat right here. Now this cat right here, his name is B.F. Skinner. B.F. Skinner came up with operant conditioning. And with this operant conditioning, he basically was able to have positive reinforcement, negative reinforcement, right? So anybody know what positive reinforcement is? Go ahead.
Giving you a reward when you
do something right.
Right.
Now, what's negative reinforcement?
When you be like taking something away.
Right, you want it. Right, negative reinforcement essentially is putting you in a bad situation and then making you do something to get out of it.
Right. Okay.
The best example I can give everybody is when you get into a car. When you get into a car and you hear that boom, 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 then you like, damn, I gotta put this damn seatbelt on. Because what's going on, that's operant conditioning.
Right.
The car computer is basically is programmed that way to make you put on your seatbelt and to make it hell for you if you don't, because you're gonna have to listen to it. Some people got loud ones too. Ding 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 ding. So it's like, oh my God, we put the seatbelt on, because that's what the intended thing is for you to do. That's the end result they want you to do, is put the seatbelt on. And they want to make it a hard situation for you so that you put the seatbelt on. Go ahead.
So you got a streamer on Twitch that's trying to interact with you. I don't know if you
No. Streamer on Twitch. What's going on, Twitch? We got one of our first Twitch people. All right. Share this Twitch video. All right. All right. Let's try to get shut down on Twitch. All right. So, y'all with me, right? Am I moving too fast? I'm trying to go, all right? All right, so let me put him back up on the screen, all right? This is B.F. Skinner, right? B.F. Skinner came up with operant conditioning. He also came up with what is known as Skinnerian psychology, right? The Skinner box. Y'all heard of that?
Well, yeah, from your you did this in lecture.
You're right. The Skinner box, right? Now, what is the Skinner box? That's the Skinner box that he has right there. But what is the Skinner box? The Skinner box is a box that you put a rat in. And when you put the rat in the box, you can make the rat do things that the rat normally wouldn't do, because you control what it eats, what it drinks, when it eats, when it drinks, and you can essentially control the whole environment of the rat. So you can make a rat play ping pong if you want to, right? So let me go. Now, I want to play y'all a video from B.F. Skinner. And I want y'all to hear what he says, all right? Because we're going to get into the hood, like why the hood is the way that the hood is. Why are like a brotherhood, how it's engineered. You know what I'm saying? Like when we go out on the streets, we tell our people that it's not their fault why they're in this position, right? Because that's the brotherly thing for us to do, because they're so beat down. They don't understand what we about to understand right now. And I'm showing you from a think tank level, right? I'm about to show it to y'all right now. Here we go. I'm going to mute my mics and I'll come back after I finish the video. This is B.F. Skinner, by the way. Here we go.
Our genetic endowment by
in community. In Beyond Freedom is meant by the phrase, our behavior is determined.
Well, I mean, the behavior is indeed be a product of that, and that is determined. It doesn't mean that we are unable to do things about our own behavior, because we are. We're able to change the world in which we live and thus change our own behavior. I believe in self-control. but only because we have been taught how to control ourselves.
How do we control ourselves?
Well, by doing what we would do to control someone else, which is to manipulate the environment.
If you work for yourself, you really need to get HoneyBook.
What's HoneyBook?
It's the all-in-one client management.
Environment. Rather than just go with an act of will, we change the world in which we live. And well, I mean, the behavior is indeed the behavior of a physical organism. We are just organisms, and our behavior is chemically, physically, otherwise completely determined by our genetic endowment, what has happened in the history of the species, and what has happened to us as individuals since birth, and what the present situation we find ourselves in. And our behavior then, I think, can be shown to be a product of that. And that is determined. It doesn't mean that we are unable to do things about our own behavior, because we are. We're able to change the world in which we live and thus change our own behavior. I believe in self-control, but only because we have been taught how to control ourselves.
How do we control ourselves?
Well, by doing what we would do to control someone else, which is to manipulate the environment, rather than just go with an act of own behavior. I believe in self-control, but only because we have been taught how to control ourselves.
How do we control ourselves?
Well, by doing what we would do to control someone else, which is to manipulate the environment.
That on I wish I could put that on like a manipulate the environment, manipulate the environment, manipulate the environment. He's telling you right now how you control people, right? You manipulate the environment, but what they're using is rats and pigeons and different things like that. And this is what I'll show y'all, right? Hold on. All right, let's go to one of his studies. All right. I'll show this before, but we'll play it again.
The two pigeons are at either end of a small ping pong table. One pigeon pecks the ball as it comes toward him and knocks it toward the other pigeon. Other pigeon pecks the ball back across the table. If it goes past one pigeon, the other pigeon can eat, and if it goes the other way, the other pigeon eats. So that there is it's a real game. The pigeon is reinforced for a cross-court shot if that is what gets the ball past his opponent.
Y'all see the pigeon, right? See, the pigeon is placed in the box. He got a square that he got a square, and he got the food up there. So the pigeon has to figure out how to get the food. So look, he's like, okay, if I step up on this, I'm up higher.
Right, I see.
So what does the pigeon do?
Push it.
See that?
Let me show you guys
Hold on.
an amazing ad using cell footage. Go to the top.
I see now the food that
Nigga, we the pigeon. We the pigeon. We the rat. We the pigeon. We all of that. And we don't even understand that. You see how, I'm gonna try to break it down for y'all, right? So you can really see what I'm saying. They control the environment of the pigeon. They put a little box in there and they put the food up high. So in order for that pigeon to get the food, he had to cope with the environment. And he had to do what was necessary for him and the conditions that pigeon was set under. He had to do all of those things to eat. So if the oppressor can control the pigeon and make him hit the box over and do all and play ping pong and do everything to eat, right? What can he do to black people? So that you can eat. You get my point? Because if in this box, the experimenter is controlling what the pigeon eats, right? They starve the pigeon out first. That's what you do. You starve the pigeon first. You starve the rat first before you put them in the box. Ain't that what they do to us? They starve you first. They starve you. And they control everything in the environment. So if they create an environment where you gotta hustle, then you're gonna be right on the block hustling. Right. Because everybody's hustling. Why? Because you can't get a job. Why? Because you got a felony. You get my point? Because you're not educated properly to get that job. You don't have a high school diploma. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Like all those different variables are at place. Go ahead.
Like if I may, what they just did recently a few years ago. They closed a lot of the local schools down. Mm-hmm. You know, in the hood, like I don't see that happening in the suburban neighborhoods. But they closed our school down, forced us to go to other neighborhoods of the opposition. And they forced us to go to other neighborhoods. Like so say if I'm from Germantown, they closed down Germantown High School. So I gotta go to King on the other side of the neighborhood where there's beef. So most kids not gonna go to school to be able to get that education. Right. Most kids don't have the proper materials needed to learn and pass and graduate. Just in a general, public school sense. So like what you're saying is correct. Like they breed it from us being young.
Right. And the one thing that the oppressor is not going to do, think about like education, right? The education is that the schools are full of what? Educated people, college graduates, all that, all through school. The teachers are college graduates, but yet they can't figure out what the hell is the problem. All these master's degrees, all these bachelor degrees, you can't figure out what the problem is, right? And the problem is more than just your kid just not wanting to go to school and learn, right? The problem is way deeper than that, right? And what we're going into is the deeper part of the problem, right? And that's why I'm bringing this stuff out today, right? All right, so let's get, but somebody could find me that what the Lord made crooked, you can't make straight. All right? All right, so I'm gonna keep reading. It says, the people in power will read the statement and they will go back to their planning boards and say, how can we create the environment such as that black people will be dumb? This is what they understand. They understand that to them, we're dumb and emotional people. Because what's going to happen in this year's election? What's this year? No, 2024. What's going to happen in 2024's election? Anybody know? What's going to happen?
We're going to vote Democrat.
Right. Shalom. Go ahead.
It's like I got that scripture.
And then who we going to vote for?
Joe Biden.
We're going to vote for Joe Biden again. Now, did Joe Biden do anything for black people? Right. But why we're going to vote for him again? Because of the mentality. Go ahead.
Like if I may, I was just speaking with some girl the other day, and she told me she don't even know who to vote for. She just vote for who her mom tells her to vote for.
Right, which is stupid. Like the dumbest thing is for people to say, "Well, we died so that we could vote." No, you didn't die so that you could vote. You died because you racist people killed you because you were black.
Right.
That's why you died. I mean, let's just really just address the elephant in the room that nobody wants to address.
Right.
A lot of times what we do is we go after the abstract things that don't mean a damn thing because it allows you to not address the elephant in the room. Like, we'll say that the reason that the kids are acting crazy is because what? Poor education, right? Because enough of us didn't get out and vote for the right candidate in office. all of those different things. But the real reason why the kids are crazy is because we're crazy. But at the same time, we're crazy because the oppressor made us crazy.
Right.
Right. All right. So I'm gonna keep reading. It says the people in power. It says they will say, "How can we create an environment such as that black people will be dumb?" Right. And they will be ignorant. They will hate themselves and lack unity in their relationships. And one to another, they will see me as the greatest validator of truth, and our acceptance as the ultimate Salaki, let me read that again. The people in power read this statement and they will go back to their planning boards and say, how can we create the environment such as that black people will be dumb? One in which they will be ignorant, hate themselves, and lack unity in their relationships, one to another. And they will see me as the final validator of truth, and our acceptance as the ultimate acceptance. How can we create in them that mentality? And then you can see them creating the appropriate environment to make you feel that way. So what's our greatest validator of truth today? Who's the greatest validator of truth? This is easy. I know y'all know this. Who's the greatest validator of truth?
ISUPK?
No.
Oh.
No.
Wait, can you repeat what you just read?
Who's the greatest validator of truth? Huh? In America. In the world, Craig.
The oppressor?
Yes. He's the greatest validator of truth. We just got a strike against the channel for saying what? That black people died in the Holocaust?
Right. Oh man.
Who's the validator of truth? When you say something on Instagram or TikTok, who shuts you down for saying it? Who controls company guidelines and what's true and what's not?
Right.
You can be 100% true, but he's the validator of truth. He decides what's true and what's not, and what's hate speech and what's not. But Taza Pod bring out this every couple months about, you know what I mean? You know who? I'm not gonna say it because I don't need another strike.
Right.
But you get my point. Everybody on here with needs, when they say what's understood don't need to be said. We totally understand what we talking about right here, right? The oppressor is the greatest validator of truth. When we go out in the streets, right? Give you another example. When we go out in the streets, what we say? Black people are what?
Wait, you said black people are the.
You said the Greeks. The Greeks. Did you say that? Did you say the Greeks?
No.
Okay, my bad. Go ahead.
No, we're the true Israelites.
Right. Do black people believe us? When do they believe us?
When we get shot in the streets.
That's not what you're right, but you know you're right. But what I was looking for was when they see a video come out and say, you know, black people are the real Israelites.
Right.
When the oppressor puts the video out and say that. When he says, you know what, black people are the real Israelites. Yeah, see, they're from Deuteronomy. And then you get the duets on TikTok, and they be like this. You know what I'm talking about, Iteral? You on TikTok? Iteral on there. She on there, huh?
I'm just sitting here.
Iteral on there. She on there. Some way. But yeah, everybody on there. Most people are. They might just you might just have 0 followers, or it might have to be something like that. But most people are on there just looking. But y'all get my point, right? When that video comes by on TikTok and you duet in the video, and you have a oppressor saying, you know what? I've been reading Deuteronomy, the 28th chapter, and I'll be damned. Black people are the real descendants of Jacob, right? Then you get all the duets and everybody pointing at the screen of the video. Y'all know what I'm talking about. That's what you get because they're the greatest validator of truth. What we say don't matter. It matters to the brothers who, and the sisters who are solid and don't need the validation from the oppressor. But for the majority of us, we need the validation from the oppressor, right? The oppressor got on national TV and said, black people, we've been reading this and y'all are the Israelites. We would embrace it, right? But because they don't, we don't embrace it. What we do embrace is them telling us that we're Africans all day. It's because they said they're the what? Validator of truth. Right. All right. All right. I'm going to skip up. All right. All right. So what's the point of European psychology? What's the point of psychology? I know you know. Go ahead.
To understand how the mind works.
Control. Right. I think I got a hand clap, but I'll give you a hand clap. Let's give him a hand clap. But talking about tired, he was like, right? Control. Regardless of what they try to say it's about, psychology is about control.
Right.
And how they can control the N word. Right? Period. That's what it's about. So you can go to college to get a degree in psychology, and the oppressor can go and get a degree in psychology. But he's going to closely identify with psychology. Why? Look on the screen.
Right.
Because the experimenter is his race.
Right.
Me, I go to school too, and I get a bachelor's degree or master's degree in psychology, and I'm going to think it's all about rats and dogs and pigeons.
Right.
I'm going to automatically be miseducated because I can't identify as much as the oppressor can. So when the oppressor goes, man, look, drink it with a straight face, man. You know what I mean? You over there struggling, but all right. So what I'm trying to get at is that, you know what I'm saying, this is how we're miseducated with psychology, right? All right. You got that scripture?
Kind of a kind.
Let's get it, warrior.
It's the book of Ecclesiastes, chapter 1, verse 15. That which is crooked cannot be made straight.
We try to make it straight, don't we? And don't we? Jesus, all day with a tambourine and an organ and a pair of set of drums and a guitar and a saxophone and a trumpet and everything. We try to make it straight, but we can't because the Lord made it crooked. Right?
Mm-hmm.
Am I the only one going to camp? I know all y'all go to camp.
Right.
Am I the only one going? I know I get up there every week. Matata Pa got a new, that he got a damn solution, right? And what's the solution? He always go to Ecclesiasticus 12 and 10 and 6 and 10, right? Because it tells you not to trust your enemy, but we constantly do because it's just something in us that makes us want to salvage anything good about the oppressor that we can salvage, so that we can somehow
make it to heaven.
That too, but somehow try to force the Lord to say, this person here, I know what you're saying, but this person here is not like everybody else. And let's be honest, okay? Maybe a black person could have a sincere relationship with an oppressor. Maybe you could, right? But you can't base your relationship with the oppressor based on the whole race as a whole. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, I'm pretty sure there's black people out there that got a white friend and why I say that has an oppressor as a friend, right? And they might be cool. They might really be cool and they might really like each other. Who the hell cares, right? But at the same time, you can't use that relationship to define the relationship that we have as a race against their race. All right? All right. 17 people in here. Let's get it on. All right, so look, if y'all got any questions on topic, right? If y'all got any questions on topic, we'll get the questions answered, all right? And we'll wait to the end of class. I'll leave some time to answer questions that are off topic. But right now, if you got any questions that are on topic, you can put them in the chat, and we'll get them on. We'll get them answered. All right. All right. Yeah, you're right, Brandy Harris. Damn shame. Right. They won't even believe it until the oppressor says it. Right. That's right. They won't believe it until the oppressor says it. All right. Who that checking in? Oh, that's Power Bob. All right. All right. The power of prediction, right? So how can you predict something? Koyashwan?
What do you mean, like how can I predict something?
Mm-hmm.
I guess my second question would be like, what? Like, can you give me a little bit more? Or
if you want to predict people.
I know the answer to it. I'm trying to figure out how to word it. Damn. I can't get it out. I don't know how to say it.
Any more on that scripture? Would you add something?
There was another make straight.
Let's get it. But what you done on that one when you said you can't make straight, but the Lord made crooked? There wasn't no more on that verse?
It's the other one. It's 7 and 13. I got 7 and 13.
All right, let's get it. Go ahead. You can read it.
No, go ahead.
You can read it, Warrior. Dang, what's your name? Say no, my bad. It's Robert Carr. I'm just messing with you. I'm just messing around, man. I'm just messing around. All right?
It's all good.
Uh-huh.
This is the book of Ecclesiastes, chapter 7, verse 13. Consider the work of God.
Uh-huh.
For who can make straight which he hath made crooked?
That's right.
Salaki. Verse 14. In the day of prosperity, be joyful. But in the day of adversity, consider. God also have set the one over against the other, to the end that man shall find nothing after him.
Okay, so this is going into, showing that you can't make straight what the Lord made crooked. You know what I mean? And you, no matter how much you try, no matter how many, rallies you have, you just can't do it. It's an impossible thing because the Lord made it this way.
Right.
And somehow we get real self-willed, like we got to be we got to have the moral high ground on the whole earth. Right. Like, and that does show why we are, the best. We will be the best at the job when it's given to us because we do have, we're people that is very loving and forgiving.
Right.
Right. So that attribute about us is a good attribute. Go ahead.
I guess I can answer that question, like how you predict people. Like I was using that like from the gambling sense. Like when I'm betting the football, if I'm gambling like on a football team, I have to know that team's tendencies in order to predict the outcome of how that's going to happen. So I guess with people, it's just maybe like based on their environment, I can predict what the outcome is going to be. The environment that I can control.
See, you know what you're doing right now, right? Because remember when Paul went to the Corinthians, you know what I'm saying? He had to reason with them on, what they knew, and that's one thing that you should grab onto in the truth. You know what I mean? Like, and I'm just, I'm saying, I'm prophesying it right now. You get my point? Like, I'm prophesying it right now. Like, that's what you stick to. Stick to like something that, like what you're doing right now, how you sticking to something that we can understand, and you're using it to prove your point. But it's something that we can understand. So it's like when you go out on the streets, it's the same thing. You're just going to the people and you're giving them something that they can understand. What can they understand? They can understand Instagram, right? They can understand football. They can understand all those different things. But those things right there is how you can connect with a person and you can give them the truth the same way. Right? Just a little jewel I wanted to give you real quick. All right. Hey, what's going on? Shalom, how about Shimeon Shabrak? You know what I'm saying? To Captain Zakar in the building. Y'all already know what it is, man. I gotta stop the class for you, Cap. All right. Powerbob, you gotta change your name, Powerbob. You got to change your name. All right. I be like, I try to forget brothers' names, and sisters' names, but I can't if you don't change your handle on social media. All right. No sweat. Checking in. We got Mari checking in from Houston, Texas. All right. No sweat. All right. Let me show you how you can predict behavior. To predict behavior, we need to know the characteristics of an individual and how they interact with the characteristics of the situation. Hold on 1 second, Salaki. Okay. Hold on 1 second, Salaki. I just lost my spot real quick. Okay. It says to predict, we need to know how the characteristics of an individual interact with the characteristics of the situation. So they understand that you're going to act a certain way based on the situation, right? So when a cop that is going to court for killing, I take it off a cop. When a person is going to court for killing Trayvon Martin and they get off, they understand how you're going to react to the situation. Why?
Because they already trained you to react to the situation.
I'll give you that because they already put you in the situation already anyway. And they put you in the situation enough times to where they know how you're going to react to the situation, right? And so because they put you in the same situation a number of times, the problem of prediction is solved. So they know that when he gets a non-guilty verdict, right, they know you're going to tear up your hood. And you're going to go in there and break into the gas station and steal all the scratch-off tickets, and you're still not going to win. They know that you're going to set a couple of trash cans on fire, and you're going to turn over a couple of cars. They know the girls are going to twerk on a cop car. But what do they do? But one thing they do know is that you're not going to go down to the suburbs with none of that. They know you're not going to go down to the courthouse. They know you're not going to do those things, right? Because they already know, because their problem of prediction is solved already. Because they understand how the characteristics of an individual interact with the characteristics of the situation. Mm-hmm. All right, moving on. All right.
It's like it. You got a question in the chat. I don't know if you want to answer that now.
Is God in the Bible real, or is there a greater God out there? Yeah, the God in the Bible is real. The God of Israel is real. And this is the thing, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, we've tried other things. We've tried other gods, right? We've tried the East Indian God, right? And we got those dreadlocks in our hair. But did those dreadlocks, did they connect us with the higher power to make us get out of what we in right now? Nope. We tried bowing down to a rock in Mecca. Did it work? Nah. Because everywhere I go, I know when I go get some liquor, it's Arabs in there. Are they sharing any of that with me? Nope. Bowing down to their rock, right? Don't work, right? We tried to bow down to the God of Christianity. And it don't work. Martin Luther King tried it. That was his dream, right? For it to work. Has it worked yet? No. But the God of Israel, it works. He's a living God, right? And this is why it works, because this is the only thing that separates you from everybody else. That makes you what? Holy, right? Deuteronomy 73, 76. Could you read that real quick? Right? There's no way in the Bible we're not second-class citizens. We're not third. We're not seventh. We're not 10th. We're first-class citizens in our book. I'm gonna read the scripture right here for you. Black Nova. All right, let's get it.
This is the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 7, verse 6. For thou art an holy people unto the Lord thy God.
Now, what does that mean to be holy, man? That means to be separate. Separate, right? We're separate people anyway. When you look at that, you don't even gotta look at the Bible. And you understand that we separate. We ain't the same as Africans, right? We ain't the same as Africans. Africans don't rock afros with afro picks. They don't rock their pants like we rock our pants. They try to emulate what we do, right? But they don't do it. Because if they were the same as us, we would be doing what they do. Koreans over here do what Koreans do over there. Chinese do what Chinese do over there. Right. There ain't no disconnect. You know what I'm saying? Ain't no disconnect between the Palestinians over here and the Palestinians over there. Right. And the Arabs over here and the Arabs over there. But it is a disconnect between us and Africans. Why? Because we're not the same people. Because we're a what? Holy people. Which means we're a separate people. The God of Israel is separate. Right? Read on.
The Lord thy God has chosen thee to be a special people unto himself.
The Lord chose us to be special, man. And we are special. Who the best dancers? We are. There's Chinese people right now in China like this. You know what I mean?
Right.
Pop locking the planet rock. Right? Why? Because they following us. There's some Arabs over in Arabia somewhere with their pants sagging, with their hat backwards, trying to be like what? Us. You know what I'm saying? We influence the world already. We just influence the world on the the negative side. Right. Right? Not the positive. So is the God of Israel real? Yeah. And we don't need no other God than that, because our God is the living God. Right? Every other God is just a statue. It's like this. It's a hand, you know. Go ahead, keep reading.
Above all people.
Right. That's kind of, ain't that racist? To say that there's a people above all people, that's kind of racist. Go ahead.
That are upon the face of the earth.
Shalom. Is there a greater God out there? Nope. You just gotta want to serve the living God. Once you do that, you'll be good to go. You'll be in the right spot and you won't have to look no more. All right? We're going into psychology right now. Let's go into psychology. All right? All right, that's right. Keep the smoke going. All right. Go ahead. All right. All right, let me read this real quick, right? Black psychology as rat psychology, right? Black psychology is rat psychology. Let me bring it back up. This is who we're talking about. B.F. Skinner, all right? Black psychology as rat psychology, all right? All right, let me see. Right there. All right, I'm gonna remove this from the thing. Blah, blah, blah. All right. All right. We'll leave it right there. All right. It says black psychology as rat psychology. Social learning theory is based on what we call rat psychology. It is very interesting that in psychology books, you have a lot of talk about rats and dogs. Often the unaware black person that is it's often unaware. The unaware black person, what is often the deal, is about thinks that it's about rats and dogs. If you mention the word conditioning, someone would jump up and say, "Oh, the Pavlovian dog." he will immediately show you how smart he is about the Pavlovian dog, how smart he is about the Skinner rat. But if you talk to him for a whole night, then you'll never quite get around to how it is that the Pavlovian dog and the rat we are, which is the Skinner rat. And we never see that part. When we talk about the so-called Skinner rat, a rat is taken out of his natural habitat and placed in a box, placed in a new set of conditions and a new environment. It's going to have experiences in that box that it has never had in his life. It must learn to survive in that box if it is to survive. It must learn to push a lever in order to eat, and it has never had to do that before. Never. But it has got to learn that when the yellow light comes on, it can push the lever and get food. But when the green light comes on, no food is coming. It has to learn that it can get food every time it pushes a lever, or it can get food every fifth time it pushes the lever, or every 15th time it pushes the lever, or every 5 minutes when it pushes the lever, it can get food. And you can just manipulate its behavior each time around each of these parameters. The experimenter can say, okay, you're not going to get rewarded until you press the lever 5 times or 15 times. You can see that the rat learns that the experimenter, You can see that the rat learns that the experimenter may say, I'm not going to feed you every 5 minutes, despite how many times you hit the bar. The rat will develop a sense of time. Toward the end of those minutes, he will start hitting the bar. And it changes its behavior in terms of how it is going to be rewarded and how it's going to be punished. It knows something now, and it behaves in a way that no other rat behaves. And it has learned something new. Why? Because it has been placed under a new set of conditions. It has learned to adjust to those conditions and cope with them. And if it went back to its natural habitat, it would be a strange rat. What we recognize in the Skinner experiment is that the rat not only lives in a particular set of conditions in a special environment, the conditions in the environment also live in the rat. And the rat is an expression of its environment. And in fact, the rat in his environment and the conditions speak through the rat, and literally the conditions usually literally use the rat's body to express itself. This is why upon hearing people talk and seeing the way they dress and walk, we often can tell where they are from. We not only live in the neighborhood lives in us and expresses itself through us. We are not only its vehicle, we are its vehicle, and it comes through us. So when we see other people, when other people shape your neighborhood and shape your schools and shape the experiences we have, then in the process, they create us as human beings. Yeah, I'll take that. So that's how you know when you see and you get a brother from Chicago, right? When you see a brother from Chicago, you know he's from Chicago. Why?
Because he's been like how he carrying himself based off the conditions that he's in Chicago.
Right. That's how you can tell a brother from Philly. I know you from Philly when you start talking about the bull. Yo, the bull, you know what I'm saying, was saying to the John, you know what I'm saying? I know you from Philly. You from Philly. He like the John was talking to the other John, and the bull came up, you know what I'm saying? And he was acting nutty because he's a nut. I know you from Philly.
That's true.
Because the Skinner box that you're in is the Skinner box from Philly. You're in the box from Philly. I know when a brother comes from Louisiana, he like, yeah, baby, you know what I'm saying? Yo, you know what I mean? The bros is rolling on. I know you from that box. What you say?
Yeah, I mean, Shawty.
Yeah, when you say Shawty this and Shawty that, you from the Atlanta box, the Skinner box. right? When you from the DMV, you know what I'm talking about.
Right.
Like, come on, shorty, you know, don't be trying to curb me. You from the, you're from the DC Skinner box. You get my point? And this psychology is played on us all day, 7 days a week, 400 years. And even longer than that, you know what I mean? But y'all get my point, what I'm trying to, you know, bring out, right? All right, boom. All right, let me take this off screen. The essence of behavior psychology is behavior controlled by the consequences. The oppressor is able to control the consequences of behavior. That's the essence of power, right? If you act this way, you'll be rewarded. If you act this way, you won't be rewarded. If you act this way, then I'm going to have to punish you. So then you'll act the way that I want you to act, right? We haven't got into that position yet. We haven't got to that position yet because we're not ready to get in that position yet to control consequences, right? Are we ready to control consequences, Aitara? No. We ain't ready yet. Is all the melanin in the world gonna make us be ready? That's what I be tripping on. I be tripping on that. They be like, come on, queen. You know, because see, you come from the essence of the earth. You know what I mean? And your melanin, see, when you go outside, you know, we absorb the sun. And the sun refracts off of your skin. You know what I mean? And because of that, you know what I'm saying? What I would say, the ramifications, right, of the Claudio Nudicle, right, has brought me back to the essence of my venereal infection. Right? That's how them cats sound. Right? Because it sounds great. It sounds great. Oh my God. Oh, see, Queen, Grand Rising Queen. Grand Rising to you. And the next week, her legs is on your shoulders. Right? Because it sounds good. It's like, you know what that is? It's like a way to make people, it's a way to boost your self-esteem of being in a dire situation that you have no control over. So what I'll do is I'll say, hey, what's up, Queen? Grand Rising Queen. See, you the Mother Earth. See, all life comes from you. Well, if that's the case, the oppressor's woman is a god too. Right. Because at least she makes people come here too, don't she? She has babies, don't she? And she's actually in rulership. So how does that benefit us having melanin? It don't. It's just a way for you to, you know, feel good about, you know, being in captivity. Right? That's really all it is at the end of the day. Right? Give me that scripture where it says, is there Slaggy? Ecclesiasticus 6 and 10. Let me get that. And it'll come to me. All right. So it says behavior followed by negative consequences decrease it or eliminate it completely. Right. It says, okay, the essence of behavior psychology is behavior controlled by its consequences. Behavior that brings good consequences gets repeated. Behavior that's followed by negative consequences decrease or eliminate completely. But psychology overall is the essence of power. And power involves manipulating reward and consequences. Right? And that's basically what this whole thing about power, like, understand what I'm reading right now. What am I reading? Anybody know what I'm reading? Not the book. Go ahead. I'm reading psychology, but it's a manual for what?
How to control us.
Right, but what's the word I'm looking for? It's a manual for what?
Brainwash?
What's the show that you won't watch on Stars?
Power.
Right. It's a manual for power. It's a manual for power. What I'm reading, y'all, is power. How you can get power. And the oppressor puts it right out in front of your face and you don't know. The reason you don't know is because we too busy celebrating, Black History Month. Like, the hell we still celebrating Black History Month for? I don't know. Is there a reason why? Go ahead.
This is like basically the same type of thing we do when we're raising children, where we have a reward and a punishment system to get the behavior that we desire out of our children.
Mm-hmm. Let me read something to y'all, man. It's for all the women talking about, it's my life, my choice. Right? It's my choice, right? Ain't that what they said? It's my choice. It's my choice. It's all stupid. Let me show y'all something, man. This is another book, man, called it's called An American Dilemma, The Negro Parliament, Modern Democracy. Y'all heard of this book before?
Nah.
Never heard of it? The Negro Parliament, Modern Democracy, written by Gunnar Myrdal. Gunnar Myrdal was a Swedish eugenicist, right? And this is more psychology, but he was a Swedish eugenicist who had about 75 authors who helped him write this book. And he was financed by the Carnegie Corporation to give an unbiased look on the Black situation in America, right? Because the Carnegie Corporation, they wanted to have an unbiased outlook on the problem with Black people in America, right? And because our women are so smart, right? They're so smart and it's my choice and they think it's their choice. But I'm going to show you what he wrote in 1938, all right? Page 170. The Negroes cannot be killed off. Compulsory deportation would infringe upon personal liberty in such a radical fashion that it is excluded. So they understand that they just can't start deporting us, right? Because it would be so radical that type of a solution to the problem of Black people being in America, that's excluded out of the goal of what they want to achieve the goal, right? It says deportation would infringe upon personal liberty in such a radical fashion that it is excluded. Voluntary exportation of Negroes could not be carried out extensively because of the unwillingness on the part of recipient nations. So they can't just start deporting us because why? We ain't got nowhere to go. If we African, why can't we go to Africa? But what did it say? It said the exportation of Negroes could not be carried out extensively because of the unwillingness on the part of recipient nations. And as well as on the part of the American Negroes themselves, who usually do not want to leave the country, but prefer to stay and fight it out here. Neither is it possible to effectuate the goal. Effectuate means like reach the goal, right? Whatever it takes to reach the goal. By keeping the Negro death rate. A high death rate is an unhumanitarian and an undemocratic way to restrict the Negro population. And in addition, expensive to society and dangerous to the white population. The only possible way of decreasing Negro population is by means of controlling fertility. Mind blown, right? He said this back in the day. So is it your choice? It's their choice. They just made it look like it was your choice. And you just too dumb to understand that it's not. Moving on. Let me get that, Warrior. Who had that scripture?
I got it, sir.
Let's get it, Warrior.
Ecclesiastes chapter 6 and verse 10.
Mm-hmm.
Again, some friend is a companion at the table and will not continue in the day of thy affliction.
Right. And this is friends, you know what I'm saying? This is the people who claim to be your friends, right? And they won't abide with you in the day of affliction, right? And we look to our oppressor as our friends, right? But at the same time, they're out to destroy you every way that they can figure out a way to destroy you, right? And we give up the future of our children just to live a cushion life in America, right? Like I said it, man. Like I remember when General Muhammad said there's no such thing as a black community, right? And I still use that to today. It was like one of those things, you know, somebody could say something to you and you'll never forget it. That was one of those things that he told me. But I wanna extend it a little bit further. I wanna build on what he said. And in order for me to build on what he said, that means that I have to really, you know, have done some research to actually see it, but and to really understand it. But I want to build on what he said when he said there's no such thing as a black community in the world, right? Because in here we have a community, right? But in the world, there's no such thing as black parents. There's no such thing as black parents. Black parents in the world do whatever the oppressor tell them to do. So if the oppressor tells you we're not going to name your kids male or female anymore, we're going to name them Thebes. We're going to give them the option to decide what they want to be. We're going to give them the option to decide what their sexual orientation is going to be. Devoid of you or whatever you want or whatever you say, we're not going to go with that. What we're going to go with is we're going to allow the children to decide what they want to be. Right? And after we put billions of dollars into programming, TV programming, cartoons, shows, news, everything, will give them the opportunity to decide what they want to be. And if the campaign is for them to be, you know, a male that think that they're a female, then we'll give them the choice after we put all the billions of dollars of brainwashing on them. We'll give them the choice. And we don't give a damn what you think. There's no such thing as black parents in the world, man. You know what I'm saying? They're just people that just go along with whatever is popular. And that's why they say we're in a cult, right? We're in a cult, right? But what they about to do next month? They about to carve up pumpkins. They about to put pumpkins out front and put a candle in the middle of it to make it look scary, right? They about to worship Satan, right? The day when Satan, with All Hallows Eve, Tyler Pot know what I'm talking about. Ain't that in that book that you always be bringing out every year? He bring it out every year, right? All Hallows Eve and Samhain and all that. But we in the cult. You about to put a tree in your house and wrap it with electric, and then wonder why the house burned down, right? But we in the cult, right? I think what it is just that, you know, our people just don't want rules. You know, everybody, you be like, you love Jesus? Oh yeah, without a doubt. Oh. They start doing that, right? You don't gotta say nothing. They just be like, you say Jesus. You say Jesus, they just start shaking like, right? They like, you know, after what's his name? Ray Charles. After Ray Charles, he be doing his piano and stuff. And after he done, he be like this. Yeah, that's right. That's how we are. We just love ourselves, man, when it comes to that Christianity. But when it says, man, you can't eat pork, it's like, whoa, my God, it's different from that. You know, I got a personal relationship. That's what it all comes down to. Go ahead. You want to say something?
That's the best one right there. you know, we all got our personal relationship with the Most High.
No, you don't.
That's what they say.
Mm-hmm.
When you tell them that they shouldn't be eating shrimp or having casual sex or any of the commandments that the Lord commanded us to do, you know, they talk about how their relationship is personal with the Most High.
Mm-hmm.
It's a lot.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so Skinner, BF Skinner, right? All right, I just want to a little bit more before I wrap it up, right? So BF Skinner in 1948 studied operant conditioning by conducting experiments using animals which he placed in the Skinner box, which was similar to Thorndike's puzzle box, right? Thorndike was another psychologist who came before BF Skinner. Skinner identified the 3 types of responses or operant that can follow behavior. Neutral operant responses from the environment that neither increase nor decrease probability of behavior being repeated. Reinforcers are responses from the environment that increase the probability of behavior being repeated. Reinforcers can either be positive or negative. Punishment and responses from the environment that decrease in the likelihood of a behavior being repeated, and punishment weakens behavior, right? And we understand that, right? Because if you get punished for something, it weakens your behavior. It weakens the behavior of it happening again, right? And right now, we don't have that control, right? But we will have that control when we're ready to get to that point, right? Let me get the Nation of Kings and Priests, right? I think that might be 2 Peter 2:9, I believe, or it could be 1 Peter 2:9. All right. And let me pull one more scriptures.
Like you said, 2 Peter 2:9.
Yeah, it might be one of the two. It's about it. And then Matthew 7:26. Well, whoever got it, y'all got it. Let me see. Let me check out some of these comments, man. We got 16 comments. Damn. Right? Yashar Banath, right? Behavior. S. Ross. All right. Black Nova, God bless you, though. Enjoy the night. What the hell with you, too? All right. Okay.
Wow.
Right. And you know what? I don't know who Black Nova is. It's probably like an Edomite or something like that. And he's right. It says, and that's why y'all in slavery now, and why they don't have nothing at the moment. Right? Y'all see that, right? I mean, truth is good, right? Truth is good. You know what I'm saying? Like, we could look at this and this is exactly how, and this exactly proves my point. Why we need change.
Right.
Right? Because, of course, somebody who's not, of course, probably an Israelite or black or whatever, can covertly disguise itself by saying Black Nova.
Right.
Not white Nova, Black Nova. And they can come in here and say these things like this. And it's good for us because it forces you to accept reality. So that we can't put it off to the side and try to dismiss it as something that's just, you know, relative to one person, right? Or just a crooked cop, or just the person that just wants to be racist to you that day. No, it's a racial thing, right? Racism has what in the name?
Race.
Right. So what does that mean? What has to be engaged with it for it to be called racism? Right. You on it. You with me? We're here. So racism takes race to be involved with it. So if it's racism, then that means it's a race that has to be involved with it.
Right.
And racism is a tool to protect supremacy. All right? All right. Go ahead, Warrior. You got it.
This is the book of 2 Peter, chapter 2, verse 9.
Uh-huh.
The Lord knoweth how to deliver the godly out of temptations.
That's not that. First, try it first. That's it we're talking about? Is it 1 John 2 and 9?
Which one you?
The kings and priests.
Oh, what kind? This is the book of 1 Peter, chapter 2, verse 9.
Mm-hmm.
But ye are a chosen generation.
We are what?
Chosen generation.
That means that we chosen. Sister Sue, man. Sisters be like, I don't care about this because I don't want him out there doing what I don't want him to do. Look, man, you chosen too, sis. You chosen, man. A lot of think about it, man. None of that matters. You know, we've been so comfortable in America that feelings matter. You get my point? Do y'all get my point?
Oh God.
Right? Look at Ukraine right now. Is there women give a damn about any of that our women give a damn about here in America? No. You know what they care about? Staying alive and surviving and just fighting the war. Do they care about sexual orientation? No, they don't care. You know what? We've been so spoiled over here. We're spoiled in America. We got first world problems over here. You know, in America, I work at a water company, right? You know, people spray clean water on their car to wash it. People spray clean water to water the lawn. That's how, you know, that's how spoiled we are here in America. We spoiled, man. Well, see, I don't want him having another woman. You spoiled, man. Women in Ukraine don't care about that. They just care about surviving because they're in war. You know, they don't care about a nigga who got a multiple wives. They care about a nigga that can fish. You know what I'm saying? Nigga that can hunt. Get some food. They bombing the hell out of this place. That's all we care about. But because we're so goddamn spoiled over here, what they say, we're spoiled rotten. And we just don't consider the things that are important. And everything else outside of what it takes to give our nation redemption is just not important. It's just really not. Like, love and hip hop is not important. Relationship goals is not important. Relationship goal. You see a picture with a dude like this with his girl, and you like, and it's hashtag relationship goals. Oh, I want to have a relationship like that. There's two people in a goddamn picture. Right? And all it says is relationship goals. Right. That's all it says. And your rib is fighting you in the house because she wants to look like that damn meme. Everything we do it just means nothing. Everything, it means nothing. It's all, you're in the matrix, right? You're in the matrix. Everything you do, everything you thought about is wrong. Your ideas of a relationship is wrong. Your ideas of what marriage is based off of is wrong. Everything that you think is wrong. And everything that you think has been engineered for you by the oppressor. And we just read it tonight. Everything I just read. What, I gotta read some more? I gotta read some more. I think pretty much the point has been proven. Everything that you think has been thought for you. Everything that you wear has been thought for you. You know what I'm saying? The Hoochie Daddies. You want to wear some Hoochie Daddy shorts? Hey, that's the next thing I was talking about. Hoochie Daddy shorts. Go ahead.
That's so crazy. Now we wearing purses, and now we wearing tights. Wow.
That sounds crazy, right? We're talking about Hoochie Daddy. Hey, women are like, I like those shorts. Those shorts has already been laid out for you to wear. All right? Nobody came up with that. It has not been like a style that niggas came up with. No. Homosexual men designers is looking at it like, this is what I want niggas to wear. Right now. This is what I want straight men to wear. I want to look at them thighs. I want to see those thighs. I'm tired of them wearing shorts that go all the way down to the top of their sneaks. Hey, but talking about that's all I wear. If I wear some shorts, they going down to the top of my sneak. But women want you with the Hoochie Daddies. You gonna get you a pair? Yeah, you thinking about it? Hey, we're talking about it. He's thinking about it. He about to get the Hoochies, man. The Hoochie Daddies. All right, checking in from Baltimore, Cora Lacombe. Yeah. So we got to understand, like, and what I wanted to do with this class, man, is just, and I got part 3 coming out, right? It's going to come out next week, right? Wait till y'all see this book. Wait till you see this book, ISUPK. You're going to see it. It's the last one that they had on Amazon. I got the last one. When I ordered it, you know what I'm saying? Zarabakar, it said no more left. It's done. You can't order it no more. I got it. It'll be here in like a week. But I'm going to get it, and I'm going to go into it, and I'm going to show y'all something in that. You know what I'm saying? To further prove my point, right? The 9th edition. I didn't look everywhere for this damn thing. You know what I'm saying? But I could never find it. I was in every other edition. I was in the 13th edition, the 16th edition, the 11th, the 6th, the 5th, the 1st. It was in the 9th. I'm going to get it, right? It's called the Introduction to Psychology, the 9th edition, written by Atkinson and Atkinson. And I'm going to show y'all, all right? Bring it out some more. So this is part 2, all right? So did anybody have any questions that they wanted to get answered? Did I have anything on topic, off topic? Let me know. And let me get Ezekiel 13:3. Yeah. I did? Okay, let's get it. Let me read that one. The Matthew 7:26, and then let's get the Ezekiel 13:3.
Matthew chapter 7 and verse 26.
Mm-hmm.
And everyone that heareth these sayings of mine and doeth them not shall be likened unto a foolish man, which built his house upon the sand.
And break it down for me.
Okay. Every man that heareth these words. So every man that heareth my words and doesn't follow them, all right, you're gonna build your house, but it's not gonna be stable. It's not gonna be on firm ground. Keep sinking, keep trying to rebuild, it's gonna sink again. I'm not following my words, so
you broke it down. See, you broke it down. That's it. That's exactly what I was looking for. That ain't that what we've been doing in the Black community, the Hispanic community. We just trying to build a house, and that house is on sand, right? And because we don't want to listen, we fall every time, right? The main objective of this class, man, this is the ISUPK, right? The Israelite School of what? Universal what?
Practical knowledge.
Right, so it has to be what? Practical. Us coming together with everybody, is that practical? No. Us Figuring out a way to salvage, a piece of Christianity is not what? Practical. Us trying to, be the NFAC, right? You know what I'm talking about? The NFAC trying to be the Black Panthers. That's not what? Practical. Because how is that practical if you got a white woman?
Right.
How is that practical if you still celebrating Christmas? You still bringing it home gifts on Valentine's Day. You still, on Coke. Yeah, Coke. Yeah, I said it. Coke. Right? How is that going to matter? What does it matter if you you in a biker club and you selling Coke and snorting Coke? Yeah, I said it. Coke. Right, we're talking about, what does it matter? Nothing matters. Think about it. Everything that we do does not matter. It means nothing. Like we go out to the park and have an event. We got an event. Black people come together. The black people that you really want to come together is not coming to the event. You know what I'm saying? Because what? They was snorting Coke. Nah, this best with y'all. Y'all get my point, but y'all get what I'm trying to say. Like, nothing matters. All of it is just vain. This is all vanity. The only thing that's going to matter is when we come together and we come together under one banner. Right. We come together under a common, a common goal. Right. That we all strive to be. We control consequences. Right? So if you when we come together, if you break the rules, you will be punished based on the rules and the punishments that come from breaking them. That's the only thing that can work. Otherwise, this is how it sounds. We need to come together. Have you heard that before? Go ahead. We need to come together. You know what we need to do, Itara? We need to put our money together. Who we gonna give it to? You? We done did that already, right? Who we gonna give it to? You? Okay. See, we just gotta have, brotherhood. You know what I mean? We just all, like, no matter what you believe, we all gotta come together. Is it practical? No, it's not. It's not practical at all. That's why we're not involved with it. Go ahead.
If I may, that's what the dude from the Nation of Islam was saying to Cap Tazariak and Cap Katazar yesterday on Clubhouse. Like, no matter who you decide to lay in the bed with, no matter what you believe, we just focus on finding a solution for black people. So, but that makes no sense.
Right. You can never find the solution. Like Angela Davis tried to do it. She was one of the Black Panthers, prominent sister, man, in the Black Panthers. And guess who she got now? She got a devil in her bed. And she going down on the devil too. Ugh. Right? She's married to a devil. Because after a certain point, all the people that are revolutionaries, you might be a revolutionary in the 60s, but when it gets to the 2000s, you just voting for Joe Biden.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? You ain't a revolutionary no more. A lot of brothers drop their sword. A lot of sisters drop their sword too. You know what I'm saying? They drop it because they just not strong enough. And you can't be weak as a brother in this school, and you can't be weak as a sister either, man. You know what I'm saying? Sisters, they just, you sister get on the phone like damn, what's going on, sis? You good? Like, I made a mistake. Like, God damn. Like, God damn. All right, no sweat, sis. What you do, man? I don't know. Like, look, you gotta be strong. You know what I'm saying? Both of us, we have to be strong. and we have to endure all the way to the end, and we can't be weak about it. Y'all, brothers and sisters that are here now, y'all are not weak. Y'all are here because y'all strong. You know what I'm saying? The sisters, that'd be tripping me out. Sisters leave the school and be like, surviving a cult. What the hell are you talking about? I seen you at the barbecue eating hot dogs with me. But you surviving a cult.
Right.
Wow. Just crazy. Guess you like Jim Jones? Like that kind of cult? Like Jim Jones. Wow. Where Jim Jones killed all his members, didn't he? 1,000 people died, except one lady. She was like 75, who hid under the bed in Guyana. She hid under the bed, and she didn't drink the punch laced with cyanide. You know, Charles Manson had a cult, right? And he was killing everybody. But we a cult? You surviving a cult. Ain't that crazy, Tara? Surviving a cult. Wow. I guess so, right? Maybe you were just weak and you're just looking for a reason to just justify you being weak. That's what it was. All right? So, part 3. Next week, I'm going to bring it out. Hopefully the book will be here by then. Because I really want y'all to get this. I really want y'all to see. So we can go on a little bit deeper. I believe we got to the baseline of where we at. What you think, Tara? Got to the baseline? Yeah? We need some more? We got past the baseline? A little bit deeper? All right, no sweat. All right, so what we're going to do is, I just wanted to, check with y'all to make sure we good. All right, with the ISUPK, the Israelite School of Universal, means everybody can understand it, right? And it's practical, meaning that it's something that all of us can understand and something that's practical that we can all take in, right? Because it makes sense. Knowledge is what everybody's trying to get, right? So with the ISUPK, the Israelite School of Universal Practical Knowledge, we don't got no more questions. All right, Trooper Corral, come. All right, I got you. And we're going to turn the class over to Precinct Officer Matazi Allah. That's right. It was like this. What do you say? It's not about like that.
ISUPK security announcements. Rules for new brothers and sisters. When a new person comes into a school, they are off limits for 6 months. They are to be saluted only. They are here to learn and share themselves of the world. If they need transportation, the teacher will arrange it. After 6 months, if your brother or sister is interested in a particular person, they're to seek counsel from the heads. Tithes, which is a commandment. Numbers 18:21, Malachi 3:8-10, means 10th in Hebrew, Ma'ashara. 10% of every penny of any increase the Lord gives you. Priest funds, free will offering for the priests. It's not mandatory. It's whatever amount you'd like to donate. Upcoming holy convocations, we have the Memorial Blowing of Trumpets, which will be in Smyrna, 202 North DuPont Boulevard, Smyrna, September 25th.
Right.
It's on a Sunday. All right. So come on up. Let's show out. We also, it's not a high holy day, but this Sunday, this weekend, we have the get cookout in New York, in Harlem. So if you're available, come up to New York. All right. If anyone wants to be trooper in school, start wearing all black boots, shirt, pants, headband, and scarf. That being said, Israel Majum, I'm going to give a courtesy salute. Men of Israel, Majum Shabbat, Majum, Barak, Yahweh Hashem, Yahweh Shabbat, Yahweh Matah, SARS means turn. Sister Majum, I'm going to give a good sister courtesy salute. Men of Israel, Majum Shabbat, Majum, Barak, Yahweh Shabbat, Hashem, Yahweh Shai, Yahweh Matah, class dismissed.